Welcome back, or perhaps I should just say welcome, since we've never been here before, to the Milton Islands, a route currently in beta testing that builds upon some of the assets in the Milton Valley Railroad, or MVR, created by Sharedice. This route was created by Slavak Eagle, who has also created a lot of other very interesting routes and is an expert in session design. Today's playthrough was part of the first round of beta testing, and it's one of my favorite sessions on the route. It's focused on shunting of just a few freight cars to different industries on the islands, which are reached from a ferry that operates as a turntable type of asset. This was a 3-hour session and playthrough, and actually I finished the deliveries, but there was a minor error and I didn't technically complete the session. Afterwards, that error was fixed, which is, after all, the purpose of beta testing. However, I'm shortening this whole playthrough down a bit just to show the highlights. The routes creator joined me on the stream, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Let's just jump into it. Not going to take that reefer. I like these cars. Garbage truck too, I guess. Oh, I'm speeding again. Lose all my remaining 40 points. I don't know what I'm going to do if I fail this session also. I wish there was some way to tell whether I'm fully on or off. I mean, for regular turntables, there is not any way other than just visually looking at it that I know of. It sort of seems like there's a different number of cars. There's no way I could have fit that reefer on there. Okay, it didn't fail the session. She was Yar. As Katharine Hepburn said in the movie Philadelphia. I don't remember the name of the boat that they were talking about. Some sort of yacht. Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, Jimmy Stewart. It's a good movie if you haven't seen it. Okay. I mean, I could just put these cars onto the other track right now on the ferry, take the whole load back. You're speeding, oh. I've lost all remaining points. Eagle says, I'm back, doing too much stuff at once. Alright, can I fit all the cars on here? Or will this fail the session? Clearly they appear to fit. They don't, says Eagle. Okay, well, let's just drop off one boxcar. I mean, I do think that to prevent user, since there's no indication Trainz is not giving any indication of what does or does not fit. I think it would be useful to say in the instruction boxes what the threshold is. Oh, I see. I mean, I sort of have the feeling that using the ferry tracks as a storage area could be useful, given the number of moves I'll probably end up having to make. Okay, so the first car that I could, it's either red or green, but green has to go here, meaning that I have to be in back of that one. So I don't see obviously where I can do a runaround. So red. Red seems to be fairly straightforward. The only question is, should I do red and orange at the same time? It seems that orange would have to be run around, whereas red would not. Eagle says, also have to fix the problem that the navigation points did not retain their text. It's a puzzle. I think it's a puzzle is referring to the puzzle that I'm facing, not the puzzle of the text getting lost. I like these building assets. Very rustic. Here's some more sideways smoke going on here. And I've used some of these buildings and I don't remember that issue. Oh, it's not going fast. Too busy looking at the smoke. Nice outhouses as well. Oh, looks like the outhouse door is actually closing and opening. Is there somebody inside? No. I don't really get that. I don't think it's I'm not that into toilet humor, is what I'm trying to say. Eagle says, wind is opening and closing it. Wait, why did it stop? Yeah, these are nice little buildings, which I have used on my own route as well. Some of them, not all of them. This one, this minty one, definitely have used. Okay, let's just make sure I'm not totally screwing up, which I probably am. Okay, I think I'm screwing up. I'm going to pause, because I think I already screwed up. So if I drive just straight, Yeah, I think I basically screwed up. Yeah, okay. Going back. So there's no undo button. Gotta go do a runaround for all these cars. Because every single car is going to be dropped at the end of its track. Okay, that's one exception. This blue one is the one exception. Eagle says, would you like me to give you some tips and spoil some stuff? I mean, I'm having fun. I'm not complaining. If I'm clearly heading for failure, then I think it would be a good idea. So as I can see, I can pull this forward, and then I can run around this. What, why did it stop there? Is it something related to this water tower? Okay, stop. Eagle says, all right, let me know if you want some help. Sort of implying that I'm messing up. Pretty hard to fail once you are on the island. Unless you derail. The water tank hates me. Yeah, I knew that. Sorry, I'm just looking at the map a little bit obsessively to come up with a real plan. And I think the idea that I have is to do some blocking of the train right at the next junction. So that means we'll have a shorter train to begin with, and future efforts can be consolidated. This seems like this rural area is not really made for blocking and shunting, but I think that's what it's going to become. But the colors really help. I mean, I'd be lost without the colors. Uh-oh. I can barely manage a 2% grade. Maybe this is not the best idea. How heavy is this train? 164 tons. That should be no problem. One mile an hour. now that makes me want to take this one all the way to where it's destined to go. But that's not what I was planning to do. Jeez. I need a helper. It might be partly because of the curve. Throw on some sand. This is obviously was not a good idea. Okay. I'm giving up on this idea. Put these here. And then I'll put this other one there on that track. Get some more tea here. One hour and 30 minutes into the stream, and I have finished my Earl Grey. I can pull it all the way in instead of leaving it hanging, fouling the switch. You don't want that. That's not prototypical. One thing that I enjoy about Eagle's streams is the positivity. And I'm not quite as positive. You know, I'm having fun. I just don't show it as much. If I weren't having fun, if I were like frustrated, then I would quit out the game. And there's some things that are like cultural, and then there's some things that are personality, right? And some people just have like a grouchy personality or a grouchy manner. I'm probably more the grouchy manner than a grouchy personality. But I also think that my whole family is a little bit that way. Definitely definitely I can think of a couple of my family members who are just a very grouchy manner, even though they like to explore things, they like to sample different things, but they're not going to be smiling and laughing all the time while doing it. Now, I did have a cousin who was extremely notable for his very negative and sarcastic humor. And when he was older, you know, like retirement age, he's passed away many years, more than a decade ago, passed away. But, you know, his humor was the type of humor that probably was funny when he was a young man. But then as he got older, you kind of have to adjust your humor upward as you get older because the grouchy old man thing is a real thing. Okay, now it's hating me again. Okay, the sound just cut out. What is that indicating? Sound cut out again. I'm getting worried again. Can I uncouple? Oh, it's loading or something. It's just, oh, because I hid the commodities. Oh, so I didn't know that it was loading because I hid the commodities. Oops. I'm now on the scoreboard. I have 50 points. That is worth laughing about. See? I'm being positive. Not sarcastic. It is literally true. Okay, well, I'm glad that the game is working. I'm glad that that was not a bug, that I was experiencing just a loading event and I failed to recognize it because I did not have the commodity bar on. Okay, let's look at the chat here. Okay. It's a challenge for a reason. Would you like a hint? I think it does, or at least it used to. I think that's referring to the star rating system. It used to collect the stars. That's interesting. Glad to have you. Loading bulkhead flat. Now, I think that this is great the way it is, and I'm not suggesting a change. However, one advantage of the multi-industry 2 is that you don't have to lose control of the locomotive while it's loading and unloading. You can actually, you can set it to time to unload, in which case, in mode 2, you can drop off cars and just leave if you feel like it. Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to be collecting these. I mean, it is a shunting session, so it may be that I'm supposed to be collecting them, and I just stupidly not doing that. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to deliver these two, and then I'm going to come back with those two that are going to the blue track. Let's get in the cab. Okay, I see that there's a switch coming up that I am not, that is switched against me. I didn't notice that on the profile until just now. So which one is that? That one looks okay. Right. Get off the bridge, kids. Meddling kids. Eagle says, I'm back. Had to fly out again. Yes, where eagles dare. 0.1 miles. Oh, that's that's the distance to the car. Okay. It's all good. Got some ballast covering up the tracks there, but that's okay. Oops. Speeding again, but no points off this time. Okay, I know I haven't done this very efficiently, but now it seems like things are on track, no pun intended. Roby's limestone or Robbie? I like to think of Robbie as in Cary Grant's character in To Catch a Thief. Grace Kelly is the cat. Okay, I didn't quite engineer that one correctly. Couldn't quite see what I was doing in cab mode. I knew that something was up, so I stopped. Interesting little hoses on the ground here. I haven't seen that asset before. I would like it to be gray or black, not orange. Is that correct? Yeah, it is. Looks like it is. It's weird how the sound is cutting out. I wonder if that's because I'm streaming. Okay, an hour and 45 minutes. I was not expecting to take so long on this, but it's good. It's interesting. It's exploration. Again, I'm just leaving all the cars where they are because I don't know what's coming up next. Yeah, with the haze, it does make it very difficult to see in the shadows. And you get these weird shadow effects too, where the black outline of the trees just looks weird. I like this mine area. It's very creative. I mean, this blind. And I think this was also in the Sweaterin Island, if my recollection is correct. Now we get the panoramic view out front, or out the rear, I should say. 3 more cars to deliver. Eagle says the session alone takes 2 hours, maybe 2.5. Huh. So I'm not even halfway done then. Eagle says, fun is important. Hey, I haven't even finished this session myself, lol. Oh, well, that does make me feel good. It's like I'm a pioneer. And yes, I do know that Pioneer is a place on this route. Pionnier. I'm just trying to think of whether I've been... So I almost had to move to Wenatchee when I was 16. But I'm trying to think, have I actually ever been to Wenatchee? And I think the answer is I never have actually been to Wenatchee in real life. I think it's on I-90, so I've driven through there, but yeah. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Surveyor 2. Of course, other people aren't. I'm not even one of those who switches back and forth between the two. I almost exclusively use Surveyor 2, except for the very early creation of the route when I might need to level up terrain. Of course, I've only created the one route, so what do I know? But, oh, and then for the things that only Surveyor 1, which inexplicably they didn't transfer to Surveyor 2. Changing the junction radius, it's like, what were they thinking? But like I said, I'm a huge fan of Surveyor 2. So I'm not saying that they wasted a bunch of time doing that. I'm a fan of HD terrain, so that's not a time waster in my opinion. Trainz Living Railroad, however, for me, that is a complete nothing. So I guess that's the problem, is that they did work on something for the last iteration, but Trainz Living Railroad don't care about it at all. Like the only functionality that I actually see as benefiting me is that driver dispatch center where you can kind of see more at a glance the drivers that you have on the route and what they're doing. But then it's so weak in its functionality that I basically have never used it. Where's that center? Now I don't even remember where it is. Yeah, dispatch manager. Here we go. Okay, so if I just look at, slow down. Did I lose some more points there? I think I did. Item. All powered trains. So if I look at all powered trains, all drivers. So I can just see here that this one is apparently under manual control. I have to click over on this arrow to see where it is, which is of course where I am. Stop. Yeah, and it doesn't show me the speed. It doesn't show me any information, like how many tons the train is, or where its destination is for these that are on autopilot. So it doesn't actually show me anything. The driver center ends up still being better, even though the driver center has the problem that I can't see very much at a glance. Here I can see things at a glance, but I can't actually see the information I want to use. Whereas here I can see much more information. I still can't see the speed. Speed is the most important thing that I would like to see, actually. You know, here I can't see the driver name. I can't see what they're driving. I can't see their speed. I can't see where they're going. Can't see where they are, where they're close to. I have to click into a menu to see anything about where they are. And that's true. You have to click here to get that same menu, but this is a one click, whereas over here on the dispatch center, it's actually a 2 click, because you have to go into the menu. So it's like this has potential, but basically it's useless for me. Now, if I did industries, maybe it would be more useful to be able to see them at a glance, but I don't really do industries like what's being shown there, so I can see how it would be useful for other people who are not doing the whole 9 yards of the Trainz Living Railroad. But then, of course, there are some people who want to do, and maybe Eagle would be in this category, where you would like some industries to handle themselves automatically. So you can have autopilot doing a lot of stuff that it couldn't previously do. And I think everything is going very efficiently, so I haven't noticed any major time wasting. I've been talking a lot, but I've been talking during a time when I was operating according to a plan, which seems to be working out at the moment. Did not spend any time just putt-putting along at 1 mile an hour. Cool little industry. I guess I'm not on board with this plank, these boards sticking out like that. I don't think that's realistic. And one of my favorite assets that I created for the game, which was like a little factory asset, is precisely because somebody, and it could even be the same creator, right? But I'm not saying it is, that they created a factory which is just gorgeous, but it has these boards all over its roof, and it looks very obviously both abandoned and unrealistic, in that they have these two randomly placed boards. So I just recreated it with all new textures, and even took photographs of a building and used them as the new textures for the building. I didn't reskin it. I just created a totally new asset with the same dimensions. And now that's actually one of my favorites. So it's like it got inspiration from something that was nice, but could have been nicer. And now I'm just realizing that I probably do need to do a little bit more shunting, because this is only going to fill up this one car. What? Oh. Selecting the wrong car. It's going to be a very tight clearance, but hopefully the game will not mind. I have a feeling I'm going to end up taking all these cars back. Did I clear it? It looks like I cleared it with inches to spare. Not very prototypical, obviously. So I presume when I get there, I will have completed 6 out of 10. And then it will inform me that I have to go pick up the cars again, which is fine. Thank you for getting rid of a bot. I wonder if it's recording my score right now as negative. So if I earn another 50 points, but I'm at negative 20, or if I'm at 0, so the next time I complete a task, it'll give me 50. Even though my quote-unquote real score is probably negative based on the amount of speeding I did. Not speeding now, that's for sure. I'm just thinking, if I do have to take all the cars back, most likely I would have to start filling what on this, where we're looking at right now, it would be the right-hand track of the two on the ferry. Should be filled first, because otherwise the runaround becomes filled up and impossible to use. Nav point here. Oh, aha. I forgot that I left another car back. I was like, have I discovered another error? But no, I have not. I've discovered an error with my own playthrough. Alrighty. Just need to get onto the other track now. I sort of feel that the correct answer might be to prioritize getting that car, but I also have to prioritize running around that car. Which sort of means that I have to put these bulkhead flats onto the ferry, I think, because otherwise I'm not going to have space to run around them. Yep, put them on the ferry. Might as well. Tell you what though, let's stop here. And then put them on. I may come to regret this, but this is definitely going to enable the runaround to be a clean runaround. Whether or not I regret it is going to depend on what the next task is after. Of course, I should play with a no regrets attitude. That would be the positive thing. Well, bam, down to 0 points again. I can't remember if I already was down to 0. I think I was. Just for anybody who doesn't know that I'm doing some shunting right now in this area. Oh, here's the wanted sign again. I mean, it totally makes sense that there would be multiple wanted signs for Mad Dog, whatever, Mad Jack. Oh no, it's different. It's some sort of timetable. Nope. Oh, here it is. Wanted Mad Dog Myers, dead or alive. 5,000 reward. I knew it. ferry is big enough that I can start driving on it before we're actually stopped. Because why not? We have to get to the other side of the ferry anyway. Yeah, the other thing that N3V are probably working on is fixing that whole problem with the new service pack, where a bunch of people seem to have issues with track not accepting track objects. And I had not had that issue, and I can't figure out why I didn't have that issue at all. It may be because I just have that one route, and so if that particular type of JR track doesn't have that issue, I never experienced any problems. Does it matter if I'm speeding? I just don't know. Six miles an hour versus 5 miles an hour. I assume that they have sort of like a black box on the locomotive nowadays. Back in the day, though, I don't think they would have. When would they have had those type of recorders introduced? I don't know. Probably pretty early on. I'm going to say the 80s. 70s or 80s. And not all engines, just some engines, like newer engines. Alrighty, one more task before I get my new instructions. Slow down to 5 miles an hour so I don't lose any of those precious 0 points that I've got. Oh, I'm running the switch too. Oops. Click. Well, I'm gonna go beyond it anyway. Don't want to derail. Oh, I never got to the 15 mile an hour mark. Alright, let's get back onto the boat. But not permanently. Just to shunt this bad boy. And then what's the next step after that? Slow down. But yeah, if it was a real job, a real railroader, where there are consequences, yeah, you would care. You would care about the speed, so maybe I should care too. I don't know. All right, here's where we find out what is the next task. Do I have to decouple? Oh, it just has to finish with the loading. That's what I need. So there you have it. I didn't quite manage to complete the session, but I'm pretty satisfied with the route in the session and how beautiful the whole place looks. I learned a lot about session design from watching Eagle's streams, and I know this is one of the most difficult type of shunting sessions to create. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you next time, whether on the Wallace branch or another route. See you then.